Yeah. Hey, Travis, can you hear me okay? Welcome.
Hi, David. Yep, I can hear you.
Perfect. All right. We'll get started shortly. Hey, Joe, welcome. You be careful driving.
Hi, David.
Hey, how are you, Joe?
Pretty good. I'm going to listen to while I drive home.
Okay. Be careful driving. Be safe.
Yes, definitely.
All right. We'll get started shortly.
Okay, very good.
and you can pull out a screen here and a screen here, and the screens work off of USB.
So it's two screens?
Okay. It's like 6 something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, I'm not ready for this. I gotta be moving serious today.
You might as well get a desktop, right?
It's a laptop, you can close the laptop in the back. That's the thing, to move it around with.
Yeah. All right, guys, we'll get started shortly. We have a lot to go over, but I'll try to get you guys out of here. I know it's Friday, so we'll go through what we've got to go through and get you guys out of here quickly.
I'm trying to get that, but I don't see it.
See what?
This stuff, I don't see it.
Oh, you're not gonna have it on your system?
Yeah. Oh.
I mean, I could give it to you guys, but you don't need it.
Because we're talking about the volatility, so I was like, okay.
Yeah. The symbol is here, so you can put that in. You can just put it in there. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started. Like I said, we've got a lot to go over, but we'll go over it quickly so we can get you guys out of here for the weekend. All right. So does anyone know what happened? What happened this week? And not really fundamentals or news, but what happened to the markets this week? What happened to the markets this week?
Hey, David, this is Ron. They took a dive.
They took a dive. Very good. They took a dive. Now, were we surprised? Was anyone surprised that the markets took a dive? Was anyone surprised that the markets went lower?
Wasn't it expected after the new variant was discovered?
Okay. You remember now, guys, we don't care about the news, right? The news, what we assume is that the news is built into the price. We're always going to assume that the news is built into the price, good or bad. Okay, so I'm going to ask these questions again. Was anyone surprised? Was anyone surprised by the week? So
Absolutely.
you were surprised. Ken, you were surprised. Why were you surprised?
I was surprised. I knew the volatility was increasing, but I didn't think it would stay the whole week. And the fortunate thing about me is I was disciplined enough to accept the fact that I was wrong, and I trade the charts that was in front of me.
Okay, good.
But I had a preconception though at the beginning of the week that we would have some volatility, but with the payrolls data coming up, the Fed speaking in front of the House Finance Committee and the Senate Banking Committee, and the manufacturing numbers this week, the housing numbers this week, I thought all of that was going to be a big prompt to the market actually going up, and I had perceived that the VIX was going to come right back down. But when I looked at my charts and I looked at my trades, they weren't telling me that. So I had to trade along with what the charts were telling me.
Very good. Very good. Anyone else?
So Dave, are you suggesting that the software, the monster software, told us to get out, and that's why we shouldn't have been surprised?
Absolutely.
So let me ask you this question. On the VIX, I'm looking at your chart right now. What day did the blue symbol pop up? Because it's hard to read from my phone being that small.
Yeah, so that's a weekly, right? So that's a weekly. I think that came up a day or 2 days ago, I believe.
Here, hang
Can
on,
you
guys.
see?
I'll tell you exactly. Hang on.
Okay, thanks.
All right, I got a 240-minute chart up of the VIX. And we got the big pop on 11/26 at 1:30. That 4-hour candle, that's 1:30, at 1:30. So I guess you count 9 o'clock in the morning, because those are 4-hour candles.
So,
And,
Kim, the candle comes out, the symbol comes out as soon as the candle pops up, or after the candle?
After the candle finished forming.
Okay. So
Okay.
after 4 hours of trading.
Yeah, if you're looking at a 240.
Right.
If you're looking at a 240. And,
Sure.
I believe that what Dave is showing us right now, that is a daily chart, if I'm not mistaken. Is that
No,
right?
that's
We've got the
a
weekly.
weekly. That's a
Can
weekly.
you show us
Weekly chart,
can you
okay.
show us the daily? Because the weekly's too broad, I think.
Well, okay, so there is a method to this.
Okay.
Okay. If you guys look at this is a weekly time frame. So if you guys look at the previous week, so if we look at the previous week, what we have volatility? You see the previous week?
Yes.
So the previous
Now I
week,
can see it.
guys. So
Yeah, I
we've
see
been calling, and we got a sell signal on the Dow last week. Remember, we got a sell signal on the Dow right here last week. You guys remember that? Last Friday, I believe.
Yeah.
We got a sell signal on the Dow. And what we've been saying is that be careful, right? We've got a sell signal on the Dow, the VIX. We had the VIX moving up last week. So there should not be any surprise. Here is last week's VIX right here. So there should not be any surprise.
Does it show in the daily as well?
Not on the VIX.
Oh, you don't do daily?
No,
on the
too
VIX?
much noise. It's too much noise on the daily, not the VIX.
Okay.
Okay. So the weekly gives us, and yes, for traders that are like you, Ron, you somewhat day trading, yeah, you might want it on the day, but for what we're doing, it works better for the week. Okay, it works well.
Well, I do options. So options are on a week-to-week basis. Typically, I could go in and out on a day, but I typically gauge on what I think things are going to look like in a week. So
Okay.
it depends on what we're talking about. That's why the reason I'm asking is because if I had this information, and I know you've been talking about this for a while, so that's fine, and I appreciate that. But if I had this software, right, and we see it on a daily, just like Kem just showed it on a 240, he said on the 240 was already showing on the 26th, right, Kem?
Yeah, that is correct.
Right.
And but that's still within the same week that the software here is showing that it's moving up too.
Right. I'm just curious if the daily kind of reflected that as well.
Yeah, so when we look at, and that's a good question, when we look at the markets, guys, we want to see where you're not going to find in the markets where it's bearish one day, bullish the next. It's not going to happen.
Right.
So monitoring the VIX on a daily time frame doesn't really work. No, can you get daily volatility? Absolutely, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's not going to give you direction of the market. It's going to take a lot longer for the market to turn. Okay. So if you guys look here for the VIX, right? So the VIX, all these, you guys see this here? All these red wicks, guess what? The market has been moving higher. Week by week by week by week, the market's been moving higher. This is the turn. So when we look at the VIX, all we want to do is measure the turn. We want to see when the turns are coming. And last week was plenty enough, that was plenty of time, right, to kind of get ready. Okay, for the turn. Right? So remember, we said anything over 20, if the VIX gets above 20, we need to be concerned. When the VIX gets above 20, we need to be concerned. Here it's at 30. Right now it's at 30. It went as high as 35. So we need to be concerned. Last week it got up to about 30. That's a concern. So all last week, and we noticed that heat seeker for stock boss, we talked about it. Heat seeker for stock boss, heat seeker for bullmaster have been given fewer stocks.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
I think it was 4 or something.
Yeah, we've been talking. So we shouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Okay, we just should not be surprised that the market is doing what it's doing. All right. So so what we have to do, like Kim did, right? You know, I don't care about the data too much, right? I mean, we'll do some data stuff with Sniper Trader, but that's about it. And I really don't like that because I really like to focus on price, right? So always remember, but that's good what you did. You change your thesis, right? So you change your ideas based on what price is doing in front of you. But what I would like you guys to do moving forward is rather than trying to change midstream, right? Be ready for puts. So last week, you guys should be kind of refocusing your mind, you know, start looking, you know, getting out of stocks, right? Getting out of stocks. If you're going to trade stocks, look for puts. We talked about short ETFs. Look, you can look for short ETFs, right? Or you can get into the other markets, right? So you can get into the other markets like Forex and understand when the VIX, and you mentioned this the other day, Anthony, when the VIX increases in volatility in equity markets, Forex increases, and that's good for us. So we've seen big moves in Forex. Okay, so I'm gonna go through this. So here is the VIX. So we have a buy signal on the VIX. That's not good. I'm gonna show you guys something here. Okay, so here is the VIX here. This is why we want to be careful. When the VIX increases in volatility, we never know how high that volatility or how far that volatility will go. Here is 2008. See that volatility here? And that volatility will stay up. It could stay up for a while, a long time. Here's 2008, here's 2020. This is when the pandemic hit, right? That's the correction we had all the way up here. Here we are right now. Okay, so we're right above here. Okay, if we get higher, if we get to about 50, okay, let's say we get about 50, boy, we could jump, we could get really, really high. So just be concerned that could happen, right? Anything could happen. The Dow has a sell signal. So here was our sell signal here on the Dow. This is important. We have a sell signal. The next level of support will be here. And it looks good to get to that support. Right in here is support, okay, on the Dow. One second here. All right, so that's the Dow there. let's take a look at the S&P. Sell signal here. Okay, all red candles. The NASDAQ is all the way down here. Okay, support, the next support for the NASDAQ would be, let's see here. I would say right in here. Okay, right in here. So the markets could definitely fall lower. All right. The sectors. What's happening to the sectors? What do you guys see? What's different with the sectors?
They're all down for the most part.
They're all down for the most part, right? Very, very different from what we had 2.5, 3 weeks ago, right? We had a lot of them, right?
I really thought that energy would come back, but that just, you know, those stocks, they're up in the morning and they're down in the afternoon. It's a lot of times before lunchtime. So you get those head fakes first thing in the morning in pre-market. And when you try to trade those and you're ignoring the charts, you kind of do that at your own peril, because in a downtrend, at the end of the day, which is what counts, the stocks, they just sell off when there's a sell signal. It's that plain and simple.
Okay, that's a good point. Okay, so we always want to, we need to recognize what cycle we're in, right? The market that we're in, right? So that's a good point. What happens is this, all right? When the market's bullish, what happens? Stocks usually open lower, finish higher. When the market is bearish, which is what Kim is referring to, stocks are going to move higher in the morning and finish lower in the afternoon. Okay, and keep in mind, you have a lot of retail traders that are getting in the market. So they feel that, hey, price is low. They're going to come in, push price up, and they're going to get slammed by professional traders. Okay, so that's what's happening. That's what's happening. So you have, if you guys are going to trade long stocks, boy, you have to be very, very quick, very, very careful. There will be a group, a sector, certain sectors that might do better than others. Okay, but you have to understand the momentum. The momentum is not on your side if you're trading long. All right, so we're gonna go through these sectors here just to see what's going on. So we've got tech. So we've got a sell signal on technology, right? This was our top mover right here, one of our top movers. We've got a sell signal right here. All right. The next one.
What? I'm sorry, 1 second, Dave. Why does it say up in the category to the right?
Right here, right
See where
here.
it says up? Yeah, what does that mean?
Well, it's still trending up,
Oh,
right?
okay.
So it's still trending up. It's not trending down, but it broke support. It broke support, so we've got a sell signal. We've got to get out, but it's still, price is still moving higher. Once we go through these, you'll see how the difference. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so real estate, you see here, if we have a sell signal, it's neutral. Whenever we get white consolidating candles, those are going to be neutral. It's neither trending up or down. It's neutral, but we're out. We have a sell signal right here. Okay, and we've brought in the wording buy, liquidate, right? Long liquidate on the charts to help you guys. All right. Utilities, we've got a sell signal here, and it's neutral. It's neutral. So it's not trending neither up or down. It's stuck between support Support here, resistance here. There's nothing to do here. Right? Consumer discretionary, same thing. But we've got selling coming in. We should be out. We got a sell signal. Here was our buy signal, sell signal. We should be out. All right. Gold. We should be out of gold. Okay. Silver. Sell signal. We should be out. Biotech. There was a sell signal here to get out of biotech. It's all the way down here. You guys see that?
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
Sure do.
All right. Materials. Sell signal here. Red candles. That's down. Communication services. Right. Sell signal here. It's all the way down here. Energy. We have a sell signal here. Right here. Financial, same thing, sell signal here. Industrial, sell signal here. Staples, healthcare. There was a sell signal here, it's right here. Transportation, sell signal here. So we do not have a single sector that we track. There are more sectors, but these are the sectors, the top sectors that we track, that big institutions and hedge funds play in. And guess what? We don't have a single buy signal. So if they're not buying, we shouldn't be buying. Stock boss, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stocks in stock boss. All right, that's about it. So you might find a play or two, but not a lot. Bullmaster, look at this. I mean, we haven't seen Bullmaster with these many stocks, I don't think all year. Usually we've got tons of stocks. We've got 2 pages of stocks in Bullmaster, right? Right? Right or wrong?
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
right, yeah.
Showed us in the past, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, look at this. We've got 2, 4, 5 technology stocks, 4 retail stocks. That's it. That's it. So you just wait, just stay away. I don't even like puts in this environment, right? Because what could happen is you get puts, right? And guess what? Market has a good day. Because of the volatility, guys, you're not going to find a lot of trends right now. Even to the downside, you're not going to find a lot of trends, right? So you might have a 900-point down day, a 400-point up day. So as prices continue to move lower, but you've got big moves to the upside, big moves to the downside. All right. What I like right now is Forex. And I love when this happens to equities because Forex really moves. So we've got the dollar moving higher. The dollar is moving higher, which is great for us. And we've got tons of opportunities in Forex. I mean, look at this trade here. We never want to be tied to any one particular market. Chart switched. 1 second, guys. I was doing some coaching earlier and I changed all my charts. All right, so here's Aussie dollar. I mean, it's too late to catch this, but look at that. That's an amazing trade. There was our short signal right here. Right here, short, right here, right? So keep an eye on these Aussie pairs. Keep an eye on these Aussie pairs, Aussie dollar. Aussie New Zealand, Aussie Swiss. Look at Aussie Swiss.
Wow.
Aussie Swiss, Aussie CAD. Look at Aussie CAD.
Man, those are a lot of pips, man.
A lot of pips. New Zealand. Look at that New Zealand. Look at that here.
Now, David, I do have NZD, JPY short.
Okay.
I did pretty good on the first trade. I got in on 11.2 and got out on 11.26. And I turned around and I got back in on 11.29
Short on the short side, right?
on the short side, because we just you see that little blip up that you got right there? We just went past it. That little blip up right there, when I saw that and it got weak again, I just went and got right back in. But my
Very
first
good.
entry was way up there where you had that sell signal between like 81 and 82.
I remember you were right in
Yeah,
here somewhere.
yeah.
I remember. The thing about Forex is this. Forex loves volatility. So when the market, when equities move higher, it's not good for Forex. But when equities move down, Forex gets a ton of volatility, right? So you guys, you really want to pay attention to Forex and your monster scalper system, okay? Because you're gonna find the Aussie, the Kiwi pairs and the Yen pairs will follow our market very closely. So when our markets go down, these pairs up here really will go down, right? And that's what's happening right now. And I brought in this daily, I brought in the daily here to show you guys. So I brought in the daily time frames to show you guys. So your foundation, your daily here, look at this, they're all down, right? So that's your daily and that's your 240. And that's a beautiful thing. When you've got your daily going down, heading down, and then your 240, your trading window is also heading down, it's a beautiful thing. Okay, and guess what? The dollar on the daily, the dollar, we might get to a point here, guys, where it's just this moves. If the market continues to go down, go lower, we might see Forex just really develop, right? Where we've got shorts over here, just continuing to move lower, longs over here. So the longs are here, shorts are here, and it's just clear trends, clear momentum. You guys see what you see what I see?
I see it is exactly.
Yeah, I mean, if we look here at pound yen, so here is pound yen. Okay, so it's red, it's down on the daily. So we look at a daily chart. You see here, pound yen. There is pound yen sell signal on the daily here. It's looking to test this support right here, right? So it's looking to test this support right here on the daily, right? But guess what? if we're already in on the 240. So let's say we're already in on the 240, right? We're in on the 240, right? It just broke support here. So it's redistribution, right? And guess what? On the daily, we've got a sell signal here. We're getting ready to break support right here. Boy, that could be a nice big move to the downside. And guess what? Guess what? We've got all of these pairs. We only have one yen pair on the daily that's neutral.
So that's all shorts.
That's all shorts. All shorts, guys. All shorts. All here, the yen pairs on the 240, we only have one that's up. The rest of them, all shorts. Basically the same thing here. Wow. Wow. And the only reason that Swiss yen is not a short, it's because it's still consolidating in here. It's still consolidating in here. But there are tons of other positions. And you guys should have been in these a long time ago. We've been talking about this. I mean, this is no surprise. This should not be any surprise for anyone. Right? You guys have been following us for a while. For the new folks, yeah, but I mean, Bitcoin, there shouldn't be any surprise that Bitcoin is testing support right here. Because we've had a sell signal, right? We had a sell signal here, right? On the 240. On the 240, we had a short signal right here, a short signal, right? It closed. I mean, we could have gotten some buying in here, but we never really got a buy signal. We broke support, and now we're down in here. And look here, and look at the cryptos, right? So here are the cryptos on the daily, they're all down. So Litecoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin, it's all down on the daily. If it's down on the daily, we really have to pay attention, guys. If it's bullish on the daily, we have to pay attention. If it's bearish on the daily, we have to pay attention. That's our foundation. Okay. Just like here, if we go here, right? We've got to pay attention to these so that we stay with the trend, with the movement. All right. Our opinions don't matter. The markets don't care. The markets doesn't care what we think. So, you know, we've got to change whatever fundamentals or whatever ideas we have on the markets. We can't take it into the trade, into our trading, because it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And this is a good example. So we've just got to kind of what Cam did. You switch. You got to switch. You got to turn quick. You got to be nimble.
Hey, David, can you put a chart, 2 other charts up for everybody to take a look at to kind of prove again what you're saying?
Which chart?
2 different ones that kind of prove what you're saying. Can you put up a chart of the IWM? Put up a like a 3-month, 240-minute.
IWM.
Yeah.
And you
Put
want
up like a 3-month, 240-minute or 4-hour chart.
240.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, it's amazing, man. When those are the exact lines that I drew.
240.
The daily is, I guess I could have had you just leave it on the daily. That would have been fine too.
Get more data.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Dave, just go back to your daily. It'll prove the same point. Just go,
Okay.
yeah, there you go. There you go, right there. Yeah, my point is this. This thing has been in a range ever since March of this year. And that's your first buy signal that you got on the far left.
Mhm.
And we had a breakout and now we're back in the range and now your sell signal's on. So what David is saying, stay away from stops. Even your small cap stocks are starting to give up their price too.
So
You got-
we'll probably start watching the Russell because that's for small caps. So
Okay.
we're you know I don't like the Russell as much. I rather the Dow, the S&P, and the Nasdaq.
Okay,
Sometimes the Russell is kind of acts funky. Okay, but yeah, I'll see if we can add it. Sometimes it's good to have.
and one other one that we don't talk much about, and I trade it, I'm a little biased towards it, is if you look at a chart on the TLT, a daily chart.
TLT.
Yeah, that's the I think 20 or either the 10-year plus bond market, 20-year plus treasuries.
Yep,
So now you can see that that's breaking out.
that's breaking out. So we've
So
got
if
a
you wanna
buy
get-
signal. Go ahead.
Yeah. So if you guys want to get long something today, I traded the 153 call options that expires today. And I was able to pick them up for 25 cents and sell them for $2. And what I did is at the end of the day is I bought the ones that expires next week. And those were the 154s. And what did I pay for those here? Hang on. For the 154s that expires next week. Here, what did I pay for those? 1 second. I got it right here. 154s. Look at my trading history. And the 150, nope, that's for the 17th here. Hang on. I didn't buy the ones for the, yeah, those are the ones for the 10th. Okay. Yeah, the 154s that expires next week. I was able to pick those up for, what did I get here? Hang on. I was able to pick those up for $1 even.
Those are calls, Ken?
Yeah, yeah, those are calls. I got them for $1 even. The bid is 185 and the ask is 194. And we'll just let that keep going.
And that's going against the NASDAQ and the Dow, right? It goes opposite.
No, what this is this tells you that when it comes to treasuries, the more, because the market is going down, money is, like David's been saying, it's coming out of stocks. They're putting the money into bonds, which
Right.
means that
as a safe haven.
as a safe haven, and they have a demand for bonds. And because there's such a demand on bonds, the yields that they have to pay out is a lot less. So in other words, the government can borrow money at a cheap price
I see.
because money is coming out of stocks and going into bonds. So they don't have to pay a lot in interest in order to get people to buy their bonds.
Gotcha. Okay. And it still has room to go. It looks like 159 was the high for this year.
Yeah, so they got a ways to go. Yeah, because David probably could confirm it for me, but I think this move down in the markets that we have right now, I think it's going to last for a little bit. I don't think it's going to be like a 1 week type thing or a couple of days. I think this markdown that we have in prices in the stocks, we'll know obviously when the trend reverses, but I think it's going to last for a little bit.
Do you think it has something to do with this Omicron variant?
Like David says, the markets dictate what the news is telling you. The markets is always ahead of the news.
Okay.
So if it's the Omicron, is it the Russian troop buildup on the borders of Ukraine? Is
Right.
it the insults that United States and Taiwan and China is throwing back at each other? Who's to say? The point is that the markets are always ahead of the news.
Okay, gotcha. I'll look out for this one. Thank you.
So, yeah, so, what I want you guys to really get, and this is when, you become really, really good, really good, okay, is to anticipate the next move. So there's no guarantee, right? There's no guarantee that things are gonna happen. But based on price, when we do our homework, right? We want to be almost certain. I would say an 80% based on price. Right now, I'm 80% certain that price might move lower. And why? Why am I saying that? Why am I now 80% certain that price will move lower?
You're talking about equities or what?
Yeah, equities.
Well, we haven't had much of a upturn, and you're getting close to support, and you haven't hit the next line of support in many of these indexes.
Absolutely right. So the trend is your friend until it ends. The trend is your friend until it ends. So until the trend, right now, the trend is down. The momentum right now is to the downside. Okay. We don't have any support right now. So it could be a free fall, right? So until that changes, until price stops, create support, okay, then the momentum should be to the downside. Just the market in general. Yeah, just the market in general. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yes, it
Yes.
does.
So if we take a look at Kim's chart here. So look at this. And I know we go through this. We go through this over and over. But we really have to start getting this stuff. Okay. So here was our buy signal, price failed. There was our sell signal to liquidate to get out. Okay, here is price moving lower. This area in here is very similar to this area in here. So we've got to treat this. See this here? You see this here? You see all this selling in here?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So whenever you guys need to be very, very afraid. Yeah, you need to be very, when we get a sell signal and we start breaking support and we're in the redistribution phase, you need to be very, very afraid. If you're trying to go against this, you're going to lose every single time. So guess what? We've got selling coming in on the Dow. I mean, we've got VIX. The VIX is moving higher. I mean, how much more do we need? How much more confirmation do we need that price is going lower? We have a sell signal on the S&P. I mean, how much more does it have to get all the way down here to convince us that the market is going lower? Does it have to get over here? I mean, where does it have to get to change our mindset, to get into different other markets? So, I mean, we go through this stuff over and over and over so that we're not panicked by this. As a matter of fact, we can anticipate it and position ourselves to profit from it. Right? So if it's going into treasuries, if it's going to Forex, if it's going, we always have to find a different one. We're not married to any market. That's the thing. I mean, that's why we have so many different systems, right? We have so many different systems, so many ways to trade because we're not tied to any one market. I mean, look at Monster. This is, I haven't even looked at this. This is the first time I've been so busy, guys. I did 4 one-on-one coaching today. I've been busy. I haven't even looked at this. Look at Monster ETF. Look at Monster ETF. We haven't seen Monster ETF like this all year. We talked about this, right? Monster ETF, right? Look at what's moving. So let's take, look at all these short ETFs. Okay, look at this ultra short ETF moving higher. You guys see this?
Sure do.
Look at this long-term bond. Look at this bond. So Cammy's talking about bond. Look at this long-term bond. A buy signal came in today. Right here. Yeah. Right here. Here's another, here's a 7-10-year bond right here. IEF, buy signal, boom. Here's a short QQQ, PSQ, moving higher, still waiting on the buy signal. Oh, I'm sorry, here it is here. QQQ. Healthcare, short healthcare. Yes. RXD, that's starting to move higher. But look at treasuries. Look at treasuries. Look at treasuries. They're definitely getting into treasuries.
Have you by 10 minutes?
That's okay.
Hey, David, can I explain something too that they may not understand?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You see at the bottom of your list, it says PIMCO 25-year plus zero coupon bonds, treasuries, ZROZ, the very bottom of your list.
Right here, guys.
Okay, this particular bond, guys, unlike the other ones, they don't pay a dividend yield. You buy them at a discount, and at maturity in 25 years, you get the face value of the bonds. And that's why they call it zero coupon, because you don't get a dividend payment like you do on normal government bonds. But this is obviously a very bullish chart.
Hey, Cam.
Yep.
Take a look at this Monster ETF. It's pretty cool, huh?
Sure is.
It's pretty cool.
Oh, and, hey, David, explain the yin and the yang to him too.
The what?
The yin and the yang. That's the second one from the bottom. Second one from the bottom, all the way down to the bottom.
From the bottom?
Yeah, it's on the bottom.
Go one up, one more. The yang, Y-A-N-G. There you go. Right there. Yeah, the yin and the yang is the bull and bearish market for China. And right now the China bears is moving up. So that means the Chinese market is moving down.
Right.
And when the Chinese market is moving up, then you have the yin, the Y-I-N-G, that one will start moving up. So it moves just the opposite.
The cool thing, guys, is this. There is always somewhere to go. So listen. We want to think just like the hedge funds, money managers, all those guys, right? We want to think just like them, and we want to play just like they play. So listen, this is serious business, right? So while folks are in here that don't know what the hell they're doing, they're sitting in stocks, right? Markets are crashing, markets are going down. Guess what? We want to get out and we want to move that capital. And we want to do it quickly. As soon as we get a sell signal, we want to react. We can always get back in. Listen, we can always get back in. When do we get back in? At the bottom?
When the blue arrow comes out.
On the blue arrow, right? When does the blue arrow comes up, Ron? When does the blue arrow comes up?
When you break resistance.
When we break resistance. And we break resistance, why? Why do we break resistance?
Because it's a change in trend.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So until then, we wait. Until then, we wait. But this is a beautiful thing. I am loving what I'm seeing in Monster ETF. Okay. And if you guys are not sure that this stuff works, it works. It works. It works. So we went from tons of opportunities in Stock Boss. We went from lots of opportunities in Stock Boss, Heat Seeker with Stock Boss. Went from tons of opportunities in Bull Master, Heat Seeker with Bull Master. Now they've all dried up. We went from zero opportunities in Monster ETF, right? To now lots of opportunities in Monster ETF. And I love it. We went to almost no opportunities in Forex. You guys remember, right? Almost zero opportunities in Forex and Monster Scalper, right? To now tons of opportunities. We can't tread all these opportunities.
He's right, guys. Trust me, I try.
I knew it. If anyone can try, Cam.
Cam, you trying to go against the grain? Is that what you're saying?
If Cam can't get it, no one can.
Hey guys, I got 5 computer screens and I've been short all day long, and I still couldn't get all of them.
Yeah, I lost out on some puts on Tesla, and I'm still kicking myself right now.
Hey, I had a buddy.
Made $85 a contract today, and I lost out on that.
Hey, Ron, I got a buddy of mine. He bought Tesla puts. I got in kind of late, but he picked up the 1,000 puts, and he picked them up for 65 cents and sold them for $11.40.
Wow!
Today.
So in and out today.
Today, just today.
Damn, that's ballsy.
Yeah. And you guys are going to be surprised. Z Scalar, that was been going up and down all week, and because they had earnings this week, and I was able to pick up the 320 puts today, and that one for $1, and I got $16.90 for some. I sold some for $12.35.
Wow.
I sold some more for $17.25, and the high was $18.10.
Wow, sweet deal.
Yeah.
Which one's that?
Z Scalar. The symbol is ZS.
Yes. Okay.
ZS. Zebra Sam.
Gotcha. Wow, that thing was on a tear today.
Yeah.
Wow.
It does that inside out. I call it an inside out reversal pattern. When you take out the highs and take out the lows in a nice swoop. Yeah, David's sell signal is up there too. Yesterday, actually.
Wow.
You guys see that sell signal at the very top? It's kind of hard to see.
Oh, it's off the screen.
Yeah, it's a little bit off.
Yeah.
Yeah, this thing took a dive from 373 on Monday, I guess, No, Wednesday. Was it Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday. It went from 373 down to 316.
No, actually hit a low today, I think of 300.54. If you
Right.
count the
It went
wick.
up, it went up, it went up a
if you
little
count
bit
that
yesterday,
wick,
and
yeah.
today it took more of a dive today. Yeah, it went from
Yeah.
330 down to 309 or something, or 300.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a hell of a pickup. And of course you got to have a good amount of money to, well, you said you bought it for a buck,
Yeah, for a
right?
dollar. One contract costs you $100. You can't even get a Michael Jordan pair of gym shoes for that
That's
now.
I got you.
So guys, we're almost done, right? We're almost done. We'll get together again on Sunday. We'll take a look at Forex, and you guys should be just, you know, the most frustrating thing for me is that to see these moves and we're not really capitalizing on these moves. You know, when we have these conversations, you know, boy, we should be talking about all this money we're making, right? Because it's right here in front of us, right? So I'm just gonna challenge everyone, just challenge you guys to make some money. This is ridiculous. I mean, if you got, I'm serious. This Aussie yen, this Aussie dollar position is ridiculous, right? All these yen pairs here. I mean, we made a ton of money. I mean, if we made a ton of money to the long side, I mean, there's just money to be made all over. Here is USD TRY, right? USD TRY, that is still in a long position. It is still in a long position.
I'm still long that too, David, by the way.
I know you are. Right? It's still in a long position. Guess what? It breaks this resistance. It's moving higher.
And my entry date was 11/15 was my entry date.
11/15, right in here, right? Right?
No, not the price at the date. October 15th is when
October
I got it.
15th. Right in here, Cam?
Yeah. And I consider myself late on that one because you told us to get in about a week before that.
I remember Cam about 2 months ago, and you know, Cam would say, guys, you could make millions with these trends. I remember Cam saying that.
Yeah,
This
you can,
trend-
and especially if you guys are using MetaTrader and what is it called, Hugo's Way, where you can leverage up. Look at that. You see no reversal, big time reversal candles. You know, you have some pullbacks, but those are not reversal of the trends. And if you got in at the low point, or you got in where your buy, where David's buy signal, I'm trying to change this. If you got in there, then you look at that and you see that even when you've had those pullbacks, you're still good. You don't have to worry about coming up with more capital. You don't have to worry about any type of margin requirements or anything like that.
Good point.
You're okay.
Good point. Good point. Very good point. Very, very good point. Yeah, very good point. I mean, you can sit in the trade. You can sit in the trade, and you're okay. I mean, that's huge, guys. I mean, and I mean, they're all over, right? Here's EURTRY, right? Here's EURTRY. So we should be USD SEK. I know some of you guys took advantage of this trade here, from here to here, right? I mean, watch the dollar, because guess what? As the market comes down, guess what? We get a nice pop in the dollar, we'll get a second run. So those of you who missed this run here, if you missed this in the dollar pairs, guess what? We might get a second opportunity to buy, right? A second opportunity to buy. And guess what? Look at the dollar pairs. They're all bullish on the daily time frame. They're all up on the daily time frame. So if they hold, which they are, they're holding, we could get another move. So we would see the move happening in here. All this will turn from bearish, from down to up, right? So really start paying attention. USD right here, this trade here, watch this. On the daily USD, MXN, Mexican peso, on the daily, it's up. So this retracement here on the 240, we got out here, we got a sell signal here. Boy, we got a buy signal. If we get a buy signal on this pair with a buy signal, with buy signals on the daily, that's a powerful move. And we've got the dollar moving up higher too. So we'll keep going over this. I know it's a lot of information, but this is how we make money. This is how we follow, you know, we know what's going on. I know it's a lot of information, but we always want to be on the right side of these moves. We do not want to be the person sitting in stocks right now. We do not want to be that individual sitting in stocks right now, even if you got a really good price, because we just don't know how low this could go. Whenever we get a sell signal, selling comes in, we have to assume that it's going to go all the way down, because we just don't know. So we're done, guys. Any questions for me?
Well, one thing I was going to say to kind of give you guys a little motivation, just go back on some of those currency trades and look and see what your entry costs would be to get in the trade, and calculate the move in pips, and look at what leverage you would have used and see how much money you could have made, and that'll be your motivation. Hey, Dave, can you put that chart back up of the dollar? It was the dollar. No, do the Aussie Japanese yen. Put a short position. The Aussie dollar, Japanese yen. Yeah. If you guys go back and look at where David has his entry for a short position, right where he has the down arrow, you had two opportunities in this one right here. And just look at, there's the first one, and then there's the second one. So when you calculate that from the top to the bottom, and so you started off with a short position, and then when you got a second sell signal, you actually added to it. And when you look at that, just calculate the number of pips, figure out what your cost would be if you entered the trade, and based on how much money you have to trade with to put into a single trade, and look at where you would be right now. That'll be your motivation.
So guys, this is about a 600% move, 600 pip move. So in 1 month, okay, from 11.3 to 12.3, 1 month, that's about 600%. And if you add leverage to that, like Hugo's way or Trader's way, you add leverage to that, it gets pretty crazy pretty quickly. And that's what Kim is talking about. It gets pretty, and that's just one trade. One trade. Remember, guys, this move here is not on a 30-minute chart. It's not on a 5-minute chart. It's on a 240-minute chart. These are real moves. These are real moves. These are big moves. When we get moves like this on the 4-hour chart, that's a lot of pips. These are big moves. I tend not to talk about the money because I want you guys to focus on the price action. The money will come. You know, but Cam, that's a good point. You know, you guys want, you know, you want to think about how much it's a lost opportunity, how much money you could have made. All right.
Yep.
All right, guys. Any other questions? I want to get you guys out of here for the weekend. Anything else? No other questions?
No, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
thank you,
thanks,
David.
Cam.
Bye,
Thanks,
guys.
David.
All right.
All right, guys. Have a good weekend.
All right,
Thank you.
we'll
See you Sunday.
All right.
Talk to you guys
Bye.
later.
Sunday.
Later,
Okay.
bye.
All right. Bye now. Bye.